The theme of this meeting today is European competitiveness and green growth. And I would like to develop 3 ideas. First of all, I think we can't debate on this question without thinking about the context, global context in which we are. The question is how putting these environmental topics on the public political debate in a context of economic crisis. As you can see, it's global economic growth, not only green growth, global economic growth in the European zone, and especially in the west part of the European Union, stays at a bad level. Nobody can say how long that can be, and perhaps, just opening a point of view, perhaps should we accept that no, this growth will be at a very low level, and actually we have to consider what I already heard on such other conference organized by our institute. Point of view, consider that economic growth will be about 1%, 1-2% in our countries, and what is necessary to say, it's 1% growth on 1 million euros, for example, that represents 10,000 euros. About 10% growth on 100 euros represents the same 10,000 euros. That is just to say that we need to think different, perhaps, about growth, economic growth, and have perspectives about what we really need. That's a green mind of view, I think, but we have to see what is the minimum of comfort we need in Europe and to have social peace. Nevertheless, even if this economic growth needs to have this minimum of comfort is in a low level, we have to redefine our economic model of production of wealth. So that can be a manner of speak about green growth. We are here today to consider that the way to Europe to create new model of economic growth is a green growth, especially when the nowadays model seems to be, as I said, at the end of a cycle and puts all our countries in the economic crisis in which we are today. But there are conditions to success. At first, we have to fight against climate changes and biodiversity erosion, not only climate things. I spoke about biodiversity erosion because it's a topic very important. And the thing important to me is to say that these 2 important challenges, climate and biodiversity, can't prevent economic development. That's a very important point, I think. If we are not clear on that goal, we won't win the fight. Only speaking about climate change and biodiversity without thinking about economic development or opposite the 2, it's certainly the better way to not win the fight we have to put. For that, we have to build a sort of global contract for a sustainable economic, a contract between the public authorities, European Commission, states, government, regions, and industries, business companies, and banks. Companies production developing sustainable methods, and public authorities adapting for these companies administrative and tax rules to facilitate and support these companies. Adapting tax and rules is not enough. We have to imagine financing solutions which are not only based on public funds. The economic crisis is consequently a public budgetary crisis. in the major part of the European states, as you know. So we have to imagine solutions based more on private funds. We have to list all the aspects who could prevent investments on sustainable solutions, and especially in the sector of industries and production. Several European experts propose to create a bank or a fund open to citizen savings and private investment fund, completely move towards sustainable projects, for example, renewable energy or insulation of buildings. Second point of my speech today is to say that the specific question of energy, as developed in this report we heard today, stuck in the middle, needs provoked for me several comments. I completely agree with the conclusion. But I want to say that my point of view and what I heard over me, around me, is that the context of skepticism about climate change is coming back. That's a reality. We have to have this in our mind. Certainly because, and it was said in the report, because on the short-term point of view of a lot of economic leaders and political leaders too, short point of view, because it's easier to resolve the problem of energy cost and the energy independence in looking on new fossil resources. Gas in Mediterranean Sea, recently discovered, shale gas in the United States, and it's a reality in Europe too, or even coal. So I completely agree with several remarks put on this report. Europe had to preserve and advance, but we have to continue our goals. As I said, we are today on a short-term reflection, who is very positive for fossil energy, unfortunately. And all our efforts are to put on more research to make exploitation of new resources. That's the reality today. More money is put on this type of research and not on research about renewable energy. And you said it in this report, we have to end with the financial public support on fossil energy, especially to put more money on public research about renewable energy. And what is really important in this report, it's to say that Europe, during the last years, was made a lot of politics who put Europe in the better way. We are today the better on fighting against climate change and reduction of greenhouse gas. But as you said it, the question is it enough? No, it's not enough. The consequence is not that we transform this advance in advantage economic, and we have to put this advance on what we did until today in an economic advance. And for that, we need, you said it is very, very important for me, we need to build a common energy European policy. We can't imagine the future of Europe on energy in making in France our politics, in Italy our politics, in Germany their politics. We have to have a common policy. And it's only in making that we will reach the goal we define today. Just a third point important for me, because everything was said today about this necessity to make Europe radiating economic area on renewable energy and energy efficiency. But I wanted to speak about another new aspect we have to put in our reflection about green growth and growth in general. It's a question of raw material. As I could read it recently in several reports on that question, we will have, in a short term, some difficulties with some essential raw material, not only on Europe, but in all the world. Indeed, for example, it seems to be that between 2018 and 2037, the resources of silver will end. A rare material, the palladium, needed in all our mobile phone will be dried up in 2023. Zinc resources needed in so many production like cars and batteries will end between 2025 or 2063. Copper between 2039 or 200. With a particular big impact on all electric application, grids, you spoke about grids, and renewable energy included. Resources of sand, you could imagine that sand is enough on Earth now. It's needed in the constructions, buildings, and roads will end in 2100. So this question is a big challenge in the next years. No, there are not a lot of people who are speaking about that, so I wanted to speak about that today. Some new research are beginning on what we call in France circular economy, or blue economy here in Germany. And if, like energy, we invest on this challenge in Europe, this economic challenge, it could be an economic green growth opportunity for Europe too. Thank you very much.